So a couple days ago, I seen an older clip resurfacing on the internet about Soluminati saying that DDG just spawns around poppin' content creators.
I don't know how it's possible, but every time it's a new poppin' streamer or a new poppin' YouTuber, DDG's doodoo garbage spawn out of nowhere. I don't know how.
And while this might not be necessarily false or untrue, a lot of people are looking at this as a bad thing or a way to discredit DDG's success. And that's not really how this entire thing should be looked at all. So I wanted to break down a little bit of DDG's success and talk about his insane networking skills that helped him get to the top of his career. So if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button to join the Trap House with the biggest trapper. And while you're at it, don't forget to click that very first link down below in my description to join my Discord server and become an official member of the community. So with all that being said, let's get into when insane networking skills actually ends up helping your career. So DDG started off his YouTube career over 9 years ago, but he wouldn't really start picking up popularity until he went to college and started vlogging around campus. And it would get to a point where DDG would start growing more and more on YouTube, up until the point where he was even making more money than his college professors. And this would lead to him completely dropping out of school and moving to LA to focus primarily on content creation. So DDG would officially move to LA in December of 2016, and after this his life would never be the same again, because after this he quickly rose to being one of the biggest black content creators that there was at the time, and even still is to this day. And this is where his networking really started. Now granted, it is LA. Around the time anybody who wanted a career on YouTube, whenever they got a little bit of clout, started making some money off the internet, they all just up and moved to LA for whatever reason. And this would lead to DDG doing a lot of collabs with other creators who were popping at the time. Most of DDG's content over the years was always based around some form of female, whether that was a girl he was dating at a time or just girls that was within his friend group. And obviously he gained a lot of popularity from that, but he also did a lot of videos featuring other content creators as well, such as YouTubers like Pootie, Mega McQueen, Deshae Frost, White Reacts, and many other content creators early on into this LA journey as well. And this wasn't even just necessarily like collabing, quote unquote. These are just people who were in LA all at the same time. They all moved to LA and they just developed a genuine friendship over the years, and most of them are still friends to this day. But this girl content, these collabs, and just his flat out consistency over the early courses of his career is what led to him becoming the creator that he is today, with well over 1 million followers on multiple platforms. But I don't think anyone even had a real problem or even noticed any of this going on at the time. I think people would really start noticing that DDG was an opportunist when the streaming era really started coming along, because as you guys know, him and Soluminati has had an ongoing beef for years. I talked about it multiple times, and that's what even really led to that Soluminati clip. So around the time this video was even made, it was 2023, and the title of this video was DDG Must Be Stopped, and it was released in June 2023. And as I said, this was during the popular streaming era. Even at the time of when So originally said this, many people still didn't really believe what he said or kind of overlooked it.
DDG, you can't create content alone. So you gotta ask yourself, how do he create content? He leech off people that's popping.
But around this time, DDG had already been around most of the top people within the content creation space anyway. He had did the collab with Aiden Ross when Aiden first started blowing up back in 2021 in LA. And then when Speed started blowing up crazy all over the internet, he also was collabing with Speed at this time as well. There was even like a little series of videos going on where it was like Speed wanted to date DDG's sister at the time, and they was kind of going back and forth about that. And this was all very early into both of these streamers' career, and he was also doing numerous collabs with Casanat around this time as well. And this is where I first really started seeing people say like, oh, DDG was clout chasing, I guess you could say. I don't really want to use that word because DDG is obviously a very known person on the internet, one of the biggest content creators that ever come out of the black community. And even with being such a decorated person, people would still start sending him a little bit of hate because of how much he was appearing on these streams. But I don't even really think this was like a fault on DDG, because like I said, at the time these creators were probably honored to even collab with DDG. Like I'm sure I've heard Aiden and Kai say that DDG was one of their favorite YouTubers when they were growing up, and Kai would even state that DDG was one of his biggest motivators to even start doing content creation.
I used to watch a lot of DDG. DDG was in college.
Yeah, that was vlogging.
He blew up. I don't give a f what nobody says, bro.
Yeah, that's my guy.
He had this shit in a chokehold. He had me and my older brother watching his videos in 2016, 2017. Nigga, looking at it like this. I was in college studying all his videos. I said, yo, bro, what the f this nigga do to get up out of this shit?
So with people already thinking this highly of DDG, it's not like he has to reach out to them and beg them to collab with him and things like that. Chances are it's a mutual thing of just wanting to work together, network and things like that, because they're meeting someone who motivated them to start their careers off. So that's why I really think it was overlooked for so long. But now that this clip has started resurfacing on TikTok and things like that, it's now 2025 and a lot more creators are some of the biggest people on the internet right now. So people would start noticing when DDG would start doing collabs with people like Blackboy Max after even having a little mini beef with him. Obviously Max is one of the biggest streamers in the world right now, but while he was on his way to becoming one of the biggest streamers in the world, him and another popular streamer named Lacey would do like a little subtle joke about DDG's music while in the back of an Uber.
Play that new DDG. Yo, this a crazy nigga.
And DDG just took this as extreme disrespect. They even tried to have a beef with Max, but Max handled the entire situation maturely and they ended up squashing the beef almost instantly. And this would lead to the two of them collaborating just a few weeks later when they did a basketball 1v1. And this would lead to DDG making an appearance on one of Max's streams to be featured on his popular In the Booth series. And this led to the two of them making a song called Pink Dreads, which ended up becoming one of the most popular songs on the internet in the last few months. And that's just one example of how DDG manages to make these connections and benefit off of them extremely well. He went from not liking someone or having a potential beef with a creator who was on the uprising, and then they squashed the beef instantly and they collabed to make one of DDG's biggest songs. Another example of this will be even more recent because on December 12, 2024, DDG will post a YouTube video titled "Cooking with Kaya Pulled Up on Me." And for those of you who don't know who Cooking with Kaya is, she's a popular TikToker who blew up within the last few months because she posted a lot of different cooking videos and danced within these videos as well. And a lot of people ended up becoming attracted to her just because of this, which led to the entire internet just randomly blowing her up. It was really like super random. That's like the funny thing about the internet nowadays, is anyone's life could change literally overnight off of the simplest things. But that's what happened with Cooking with Kaya, and she was one of the most popular people on the internet at the time. So DDG decided that he had to be the very first person on the internet to be able to get a collab with her, and that's exactly what he ended up doing. He posted this 1-hour vlog of Cooking with Kaya pulling up to his house, and they ended up cooking and everything together in this vlog. And of course, with how popular she was at the time, this video did a whopping 1.3 million views. And this will lead to people commenting things on the video such as "You're a marketing genius" or "DDG would never fall off, he just knows how to stick around." And all of this is true. DDG is a great networker. He's been one over the entire course of his career, and for some reason now people are randomly starting to act like this is a bad thing when it's not at all. In fact, a lot of creators could probably benefit from picking up this type of networking skills. We've seen numerous creators come and go over the years just because they couldn't keep up with the times, or they didn't manage to network the right way, or they went into it with the mentality of like they didn't need anyone else, they didn't need any help, they didn't need to do collabs at all. Where we're at a point in time in the internet where everyone is collabing and doing content together. It's really just a great way for everyone to continue growing and just staying relevant throughout the course of their careers. I just think a lot of people are looking at this in a negative light simply because it is DDG, and they might feel like, oh, he's just clout chasing because this person is popping right now or whatever the case is, when in reality it's probably just a mutual thing that they wanted to do. And it's not like DDG's ever been at a point in his career where he's like falling off or needed views or needed to collab with anyone. It's literally just the way you keep your career going. And with this great skill of networking that he has, it's clear that DDG is going to be around on the internet for a lot longer, and I don't anticipate him falling off anytime soon. But that's just my personal opinion. As you guys know, the only opinion that I really care about is y'all's opinion. So with that being said, be sure to comment down below and let me know, what do you think about this entire situation? Do you think that DDG is a clout chaser, opportunist? Do you think this is a smart strategy? Did you find out about DDG through one of his collabs? Just let me know down below in the comments. And while you're at it, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, join me on my journey to 15K. And if you enjoyed the video, be sure to give me a thumbs up. If you didn't enjoy the video, be sure to give me a thumbs down. Any feedback is great feedback to me. And as always, I appreciate all of the love and support. And I'll catch you boys and girls in the next banger, man.
Bye. Have a beautiful time.